It's the end of the year, episode 171, Red Leaf Retrocast. Guys, is this the episode I said we should do our best games of the year cast, or was that the next one?
I think you said this one.
I thought you said the next one.
Yeah, so it had to be this one. I'm ready. Don't worry, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm not.
Neither am I.
Well, how many games did we give S ranks this year?
A couple, actually.
Yeah, I can't remember what they are.
Oh, just so happens I got the sheet up.
Portal, God of War 2.
We gave 3 games in S rank. So that's our those are our contenders, I suppose.
Oh, Infamous is the last one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Portal, Infamous, and God of War 2. And then for the worst game,
that's a lot of them.
There's a lot of good choices. Although I did give Vagrant Story a S rank. Let's see. Fs. Which games got Fs? Shadow War of Succession, Microcosm, a 3DO podcast. Who knew?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Shattered Union, Turning Point.
And
just our last episode. Oh, that's it. A lot of Ds. I'm seeing a lot more Ds and Cs.
Yeah, a lot of bad games, but not failures.
All right, so we got Dr. Jekyll.
Shattered Union was the worst.
You're doing Shattered Union?
As the worst.
Okay. I am... Ooh. Shadow War of Succession was pretty fucking bad. How much does that go for on the old 3DO? Let's see. What are you feeling, Colin? Would you pay $15 for possibly the worst game on a console?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Shadow War of Succession.
Okay, we got 2 votes for that, Joey. You're out.
Okay.
Now, best game? Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
For my style of gameplay, I'm going God of War 2. That appeals to me the most.
Well, that is the only one that we all gave S's to.
There we go.
Portal got an A from you. And Infamous got an A from you. You're just a hater.
Let me think. I think I'm actually going to go with, by a narrow margin, Infamous as the best.
Okay.
I was going to pick Infamous as well.
I just really liked the way you got around. It's like climbing buildings, riding the telephone wires. And the combat was pretty fun, too.
Excellent, in fact.
And it had a good story.
I just love me Infamous. It's one of my favorite game series ever.
What do you think is possibly the most underrated and overrated for the year? So, like, I guess we could quantify that as a game we picked, went into it, we were thinking it was really good, turned out to be not, or expected it to be better than it was, and then underrated was expected to be bad and it was better, kind of deal.
I thought Bully was going to be bad, and actually surprised me. It was pretty decent.
No, that was a good game, yeah. But yeah, I guess that would be underrated for you.
Yeah, I put that as my underrated.
think I got looking down the list here. I think I'll have Gex as underrated. And then Need for Speed on the 3DO overrated from the same cast. I think that's where I'm sticking there. Because I basically expected them to be flip-flopped. Because every 3DO like forum and everything really hypes up Need for Speed. And really, like, maybe Gex is just so high up there to begin with. No one talks about it. They want to talk about something else, but that was my feeling on that.
I think for my pick for overrated might be Unreal.
Okay.
For underrated. Underrated. Looking through the list.
Oh, you know what? I have a better overrated. Just saw it. I forgot we played it this year. Fable. Overrated game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Xbox fans talk about that like it's some S-rank tier game, and I'm like, no, this is like average.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Let's see. Underrated. I guess I'll say Vagrant Story. I had zero expectations for that one.
Okay.
I had zero expectations for it, but it ended up being pretty good.
Okay. Did you guys see the Game Awards for 2024?
No.
Heard rumblings.
Yeah, I've seen a few things.
Get some rumblings. So in the last cast, I was mentioning that Elden Ring Shadow of Airtrade DLC was up for Game of the Year. And we were all thinking, like everybody and their mother was thinking, oh, this game's winning it. They just changed the rules that a DLC could win this. There was also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But it all was a swerve for the year. Astrobot Game of the Year. How about that?
That's funny.
That was like my third choice expectation of how that was going to go, but that's what they went with. It also got Best Game Direction, and then Best Narrative wasn't even won by like Silent Hill or Final Fantasy VII. It was the RPG Metaphor, which has gotten a lot of praise. So a lot of... it also won Best Art Direction. So Metaphor and Astrobot were kind of the sneaks of the year, getting a lot of support, and I think it was a groundswell of voting because of the fact that Elden Ring was up, that a lot of people went out and voted for not them, basically. That includes Final Fantasy VII and Silent Hill 2. And it ended up being Astrobot and Metaphor got the groundswell of support. I can't really, like, argue with a lot of the choices of what won this year. It actually was a breath of fresh air. What happened? I was kind of shocked Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't up for Game of the Year. Because when that came out, like, that was everybody's favorite thing. It's highly praised. The dialogues, the character creation, the whole deal. And it didn't even get Game of the Year nom.
When does it...
I thought that came out last year, though.
Yeah, it was August 23. So when is it strictly 2024, or is it like October? What's the guideline for Game of the Year?
No, I thought Baldur's Gate 3 was this year, wasn't it?
No,
it was 2023.
Then why is it...
Remember people...
Oh, it's community support. Okay, so that's ongoing.
Yeah, I remember people got pissed at us for not having it as our Game of the Year 2023. Instead, we had Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver rules. Yeah. People can suck it.
Dave the Diver, yeah. It should have been Game of the Year. And this year, Balatro should have been Game of the Year. Indie games are rocking it. So, suck it.
Okay, Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year last year. Okay, I was confused. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom did not win out. What do you know? Shows how much I remember of last year.
Metaphor seems to be winning a lot of awards.
Yeah, Metaphor and Astrobot. Yeah, the fact that Metaphor also won Best RPG is kind of wild. I mean, this is I thought Best RPG this year was like the most competitive. Dragon's Dogma 2, Shadow of Erdtree, Seven Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor. That's an excellent year of RPGs.
Hellblade 2 seems to be doing well too. They've won at least 2 awards.
Hellblade, Helldivers.
Prince of Persia Lost Crown won Best Innovation in Accessibility.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that meant for that game though.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Because all the others is Prince of Persia Lost Crown online? Like I'm a little lost there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's see if Wiki tells me anything. Because if I can't believe what I read on the internet, what can I believe? Oh, maybe it's because they made a Metrovania game that came out on literally everything day one, including mobile, in some capacity.
Could be.
I don't know. Mac came out many, many months later.
I have to give Balatro a look.
Isn't that a card game?
Yeah, it's a roguelike poker game.
Yeah, it's not.
Like
that's not for me.
No, it's not like really too much with poker because sometimes a high card run is what you need because you get jokers that give you multipliers or special abilities and whatnot, and it's a lot of fun. You can even get it on your phone now for $10.
It's getting a lot of awards
because it's really good.
Yeah, it's the best indie game of the year.
I still have to play Inscription.
Inscription was fun. It got really weird though at the end, as I discussed.
Yeah, that is true.
Got super weird. Okay. Well, I guess that does it. What have you been playing, Colin?
Well, we're not going to talk about the trailers and stuff that came out for a game during the awards.
Who cares?
Well, I like that Helldivers announced that, hey, we got an update, and the update was out, and it was new enemies. So the third enemy finally showed up.
Oh, is that mystery one that they kept teasing throughout the lore of the game?
Well, everyone knew it was coming because it was in the other game. And they were showing up here and there with ships or like purple light, and they finally made their move.
That's just good, fun narration and building up an enemy. That's cool. Colin.
Unicorn Overlord got a nod. I just bought that this year when I was in the States.
All right, Colin, what have you been playing?
Well, I finally beat Blaster Master 02.
God, you've been at that for like 4 months.
I've been pecking away at it. It's my toilet game.
Your toilet game. Everyone needs a toilet game.
Yep. And it ended up getting the true ending, which was good, though very heavy on the power of friendship trope. Yeah, the Blaster Master Zero games lean pretty heavily into the anime aesthetic. So, I'm probably gonna fuck around a little with You Suck at Parking for a while before I move on to 03. And no, I haven't had any time to get back to Stick of Truth. As I mentioned, last weekend was Christmas with my family, which ended up going all the way through Saturday and Sunday. Monday was my day to catch up on all the usual chores I have to do over the weekends. But thankfully I didn't have to do a lot of meal prep. Though speaking of meals, I hit another milestone in my weight loss journey.
All right.
I've broken the 220-pound mark. Last time it was 220.5 pounds. Now I'm at 219.1 pounds. And this is after my Christmas celebration with family last weekend.
Hey,
Ooh, impressive.
burning those calories.
Sure am.
I'm simply just trying to put a lot more seafood into my diet. So I finally found a couple places in Rhode Island here where I can buy fresh seafood at not like astronomical prices. So, for example, I bought like a dozen and a half clams and steamers for $8, and I just have to steam them myself at home. And so I was just pigging out last night on clams. I'm like, yes, this is what I need in my life. Naturally, of course, I followed it up with a pizza the next
You didn't
day.
make any, no clam chowder? You didn't make clam chowder with those clams?
No, I just kind of I actually get the clam chowder they got there, just to go. It's $5 for a pint, freshly made. I'm like, oh, this is way better than anything I could make. So that's what I'm doing. Joey, what have you been playing?
Path of Exile 2.
Ah, how far are you in that? How long you been playing it?
41 hours. Only in Act 3. I've switched up characters because it's hard. I'm not very good at it. So the boss fights are punishing. But they made some updates, so loot's dropping better. So the current build I have is pretty good. I'm kind of running through it, but I'm hoping it doesn't get nerfed because I know some of the streamers are running a more efficient style of my build.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets nerfed, I'm going to be fucked.
Oh boy.
So, but it's fun. The bosses are tough. It's kind of like they're kind of what else? Goddamn, I can't think of the word. Why can't I think of this stupid game? The hard game where you have to roll a lot. God damn it! Why can't I think of it? Anyway, boss fights can be challenging.
Yeah, boss fights.
They just seem to be damage sponges for me sometimes, but I'm having fun with it. Slowly building. I still think they need to tweak the loot a little bit because I want you crafting and switching out your loot constantly, but I don't think you're getting still. At least I'm not getting enough mats to get it done, but maybe I just suck. So I like that there's a lot of gambling in for some of the loot. Like you get some stuff, it's like it could make this thing good, or you lose the item. So, but I've been having fun with it.
All right. Colin, did you have anything more to say?
Well, I've had zero time to look at these games, aside from last night, but even then I was kind of pressed. Though I did watch Gremlins for the first time last night.
For the first time?
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah, but it was a really fun movie. Especially the bar scene. And had me laughing my ass off the whole time.
Man, I'd understand if you were like 19 saying you're seeing it for the first time, but Colin, what the hell, man?
It's a classic Christmas movie.
What can I say? I have a lot on my plate. I'm a very, very busy man.
I guess. Busy for 35 years.
Exactly.
God. That's like my best friend here in Rhode Island. He's saying he's only seen like 2 James Bond movies. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What do you mean only 2? And he's like, yeah, I saw Moonraker. I was like, that was like 100 years ago. What are you talking about?
I've only seen a few of them. I don't like James Bond.
Well, if you don't like James Bond, that's different. He's like, yeah, I like James Bond. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I've read all the books. And you've only seen 2 movies?
I mean, dude, you haven't even seen Goldfinger? That's one of the most iconic ones.
Yeah, he saw Moonraker and Octopussy. That was it.
What the hell, man?
You can guess why he's seen Octopussy. Probably thought he was watching porn in the 80s or something.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I beat Horizon Forbidden West, including the DLC. I think in the last cast I had just finished it, or I was really close. So it came out to, when it was all said and done, 84 hours of gameplay. So I got my money's worth on that game. Really enjoyed the Burning Shores DLC. I liked all the enemies. I liked building up to getting what I needed to kind of open it up for the third game. I do like how it wasn't definitive and it could possibly end, and you just got to use your imagination. But they're gonna make a third game. I mean, this franchise is just way too popular, way too good to just cut it out now. Yeah, so Burning Shores taking place in LA, utilizing more of the flying machines, limiting you to using the flying machine right out of the gate, I thought was a good choice, because then it forces you to explore the island just like you would in the game normally. And then eventually, as you get closer to the end of the DLC, you get another bird type that you can mount, and that's really cool. I like a few of the new enemies that they built up for the island. I think they could have done a little better job with like side quests and stuff. There was only like 3 of them the whole time, so I thought that was too much on the short side, because really you could just stick to the story, and I don't know, it's like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on how you play it. I think I got like 14 when it was all said and done, because I was kind of determined to try to do everything I could. I thought there was a lot more to it. So yeah, Forbidden West, I'm not putting it on par with Zero Dawn, because Zero Dawn was very new and unique, and Forbidden West clearly builds off it. I think it does a lot of things well. I was super into it at the end. I think you were still much lower on it than I was, Joey.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay. Now, I threw on Astrobot again because of Game of the Awards and everything, and I played all the like free content that's come out. It's like 5 or 6 speedrun levels, which are super fun. And then a whole like Christmas level that you can explore with it's like a mixture of all the extra like boost weapons you can use. So I got another 2 hours out of Astrobot just in free content. And
Do you
then
think someone who's not good at games would like that? Because I was thinking about getting it for Megan.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's very user friendly, and there's like a few levels that would give her a lot of trouble that you might hop in on, Joey, but they're not necessary to beat the game.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll probably get it for her.
Yeah, that's a super fun, family friendly grab and go game. Yeah, it's very much in the Mario type fun, and I think it's a little easier than Mario.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
So I was going to throw on the Stellar Blade DLC, but realized when I popped the game on, I had started New Game Plus a little bit, and in order to play the DLC, I have to get like 4 hours into the game, and I'm like, oh! So I threw that son of a bitch on easy mode, and I'm just blitzing through this thing real quick to try to get to that area. Like, I beat the very first big boss on easy mode with New Game Plus, so I have like all my excellent shit on easy mode, and I blitzed through this boss in like 35 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't even have a chance to like swing at me. I just had it stun locked immediately. It was pretty fun.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I want to get to the DLC part and just kind of mess with that, but let's see. So Stellar Blade, Horizon. Oh, Joey, I know you said beat Horizon and then throw on God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But then this past week I had a thought, and it was the wrong thought. It was, well, Christmas break's coming, and I'm going to Texas to hang out with you for a week. Not a full week, but a few days there at least, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't start God of War. Maybe I'll flip through the old PS5 book and play one of these games I haven't beaten yet. Returnal, maybe. That's a good one. Maybe throw on some Hitman 3. You know, there's a lot of levels I haven't beaten there. Forspoken. The clearly successful Square Enix RPG sort of open world traversing game. That is the one I should play and beat. I was like 3 hours into the game. The game's only 14 hours. I beat it as of yesterday, and I'm not proud of it. That game is pretty bad. It's not good. It's pretty.
I completely forgot about that game.
Oh yeah, it's it's pretty sad because on the surface you're like, okay, cool looking main character. It's an isekai story. Cool like world, sassy British character. You know, there's some good humor there that could happen. Whole parkour element of traversing the world. Cool enemy designs. Cool like boss fights. And then you play the game, and you're like, wow, combat kind of sucks. The dungeons are boring and not made, like, at all to be anything. Do I need to upgrade any weapons? Well, it doesn't really make sense. Oh, upgrading the skill tree. Not really all that fun either. So everything that makes the game a game is not good. So I blitzed through the story, threw that son of a bitch on easy mode too. One of the worst dialogue-ridden games I've ever played. It is so bad.
Thanks, Sweet Baby Ink.
Oh, man. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I did that, and then as of this morning, I got God of War Ragnarok up on the PS5, including downloaded the like extra content that you and I were discussing, Joey, before the cast started, the Valhalla section, because I've been calling this whole franchise, this reboot, God of War Valhalla. And, of course, they come out with extra content called Valhalla.
And it's apparently that DLC is roguelike. So
Roguelike?
Yeah, so I guess you go through like a challenge, and then you have a little sanctuary room, and then you go on to the next one. And I guess it loops. I don't know. But I didn't read too much into it because I'm probably going to download and play it. But I also did buy Last of Us 2, but I haven't played it yet. So I don't know if I should do this first or start Last of Us 2.
Do God of War. Do God of War first, then Last of Us 2. Okay. Are you familiar with what many people's opinions are over Last of Us 2?
I know they're upset with people dying, and I guess befriending the person that killed Joel, I think.
Yeah, you got the crux of it right there.
Yeah.
I'm more annoyed with, because it happens like midway through the game, and you start playing as said dumb character, and you're like, oh, this sucks. Because you're halfway through the game, and all you've done is hate on this person, and now you got to play as her and sympathize. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah, I guess I probably will hate her. Maybe I'll get her killed a couple times.
Right into the first battle. Oh, look at that. My controller died inexplicably. Yeah.
Have her accidentally jump into a wood chipper or something. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to God of War. My other choices for PS5 would be well, PS4 wise it'd be Final Fantasy 15. Game's on hold yet again. Poor me. It'd be God of War, Hitman 3, and Wolong Fallen Dynasty are the 3 games to choose from, but I've chosen God of War for now. Everything's like 35 hours now. I can't just like throw on Astrobot and beat it in like 6 to 14 hours. Maybe that's why I wanted to play Forspoken. I knew it was short.
That's why I love the Switch. I can take it with me and chip away at games when I'm doing other stuff.
The Switch
Like
never
using
leaves
the
the
toilet.
bedside these days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's just like half an hour before bed, put it down. All right, Zelda, another day. All right, let's talk about these dinosaur games, because that is the theme I have chosen today. So here we go. Okay, so why did I choose the dinosaur theme? I don't know. Really don't know. It just kind of popped into my head when I was thinking about games, and I was really shocked that we hadn't played one of these up until this point. And then I'm a fan of another series, at least the first game, and I don't have a whole lot of memories of the sequel, so I'm like, these two go perfectly together. And a fun way to end 2024, I would say. Joey, what did you think of the two games kind of as a whole?
One I liked, one I hated.
Ooh, I actually don't know which one you mean. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, they looked fun. Although one had frustrating controls.
I know which one you're talking. Well, yeah, I know which one you're talking about there.
Okay.
Okay. I guess my overall thoughts would be they set out to accomplish what they wanted in both games, and I think one executed it better than the other, while the other had kind of performance issues, I'll say, which kind of held it back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first game is Joe and Mac, also known as Caveman Ninja. Which, come on, I think that would have been a way better title.
Yeah, why the hell it's Joe and Mag? It should be Caveman Ninja. Who decided this?
Data East and their English overlords. I really like Data East as a developer. It's very rare we come across a Data East game that doesn't kind of deliver to some capacity. All right, so its release was originally on the arcades, in '91, ported to the Super Nintendo. An NES version was created the following year. That's kind of cool. That's got to play like shit, though.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
It would only have one jump button.
So, anyways, this has co-op ability, which is super fun. It's categorized as a run and gun platform game. It's certainly running. I guess, yeah. I mean, it's an action platformer, I guess, with not a lot of platforming.
Yeah, it's a little more like Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, I would say so. So you're a couple cavemen, or one caveman, and you're essentially fighting dinosaurs on your way to save hot cave women, the cave babes.
Yeah. You're also fighting other cavemen who have captured said babes.
Well, I mean, the rival tribe can't be stealing our women. Come on. That's like letting someone from Ottawa take my girlfriend.
Dragging them out of their tents by their hair.
As one does when you're a caveman, I understand. It's primal instincts is what we're talking about. Try saying that in 2024.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I'm going to drag you outside the bedroom by your hair. I'm sure she'll be into it. Joey, tell us how that works out.
No, I'd rather not.
Hey, there are a lot of women who like having their hair pulled during the deed.
I don't know if
I even saw a really funny bumper sticker that said, "If you're gonna ride my ass, at least pull my hair."
Wow. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. I gotta say, I love the weapon choices in this. You got wheels, regular old clubs. You got bones and boomerangs you can throw around the little map area. I didn't really come across fire and electricity, as the wiki says. I didn't come across that too often. I pretty much stuck to the boomerangs and wheels.
I was watching someone play. He was really good at it. He got the fireball pretty early on, so there was fire.
Well, I didn't say I never got it. I just didn't come across it very often.
He used it when he had to attack enemies that were lower because it kind of drops off pretty quick. So he would throw it and it would drop down and kill things.
That's brilliant.
It's just like the holy water in Castlevania.
Yeah. Well, the holy water would like spread, which was very useful for like the mummy and Frankenstein boss fight. I love that one. But the wheel was great because it can go up platforms and shit. Love the wheel.
I found it a little unwieldy, at least against the first T-Rex boss.
Well, yeah. You throw like the bones or something that can get to the face.
It was great against the fish.
Yes.
You just let it roll across the thing, and as they jump, the wheel just knocks them down.
Yeah, I found myself really learning the level and figuring out what weapon works best for that stage and area. So like you said, with like the shark area, just get the wheel and it goes left and right at whim. Did you guys have a ton of frame rate issues?
Not really. I just had issues with the two different jump buttons. I mean, whose bright idea was it to have two different jump buttons? One for a regular jump and one for a higher jump.
Well, not everything was pressure sensitive back in 1991, Colin. They didn't have dynamic... what is the PlayStation? I think it's dynamic controlling or something. What is that motto? Hold on.
Oh, it's lame then. Because it's really annoying when you're in a panic situation and you want one kind of jump, but you accidentally push the other one and end up getting hurt or killed. I mean, sure, there's a health bar as opposed to dying in one hit, but sometimes that just plain doesn't help.
DualSense Dynamic Input. That's what it's called. Yeah, the SNES controllers did not have that. I don't mind two different jump buttons. I've come across a few games with that. Find it very useful because if you overjump, then you coming down takes longer, and that might not be best for like flying enemies and such. Gonna have to jump like under them, and I don't know. I kind of like the uniqueness of that. I mean, you stick with one jump button mostly the whole game, anyways.
Yeah, but sometimes I hit the wrong button.
Well, don't do that.
When I'm in a panic situation.
Well, don't panic. Come on. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic.
Oh, yeah, it's just that easy.
Yes, it should be. If you panic, you won't get your hot cave babe back. Which is very important.
Why were the dinosaurs easier to kill than the caveman?
Cavemen have bigger brains. Come on, Joey. Did you ever learn about dinosaurs in school?
They're big. I would think they would take more than one hit.
No, yeah. You're silly.
Did anyone know about the 3 different endings, with one being banned from the Western release?
I did not know this. Do tell.
Well, once you beat the final boss, there's 3 different paths you can take. If you go on the topmost one,
okay,
it shows the credit sequence with your character being chased by all the hot cave women, looking all freaked out. And then if you do the middle one, you get same thing, but with him being chased by the ugly cave woman. And then I'm fairly certain this is the one that was banned. On the bottom one, he ends up getting chased by another caveman with lipstick on. So I'm guessing the West wasn't quite ready for a gay caveman. Just as they weren't ready for the lesbians of Sailor Moon back in the 90s.
Ah, yes. A gay caveman. There's a lot of jokes you can go on with that one.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. I kind of love it. Oh, that is an ending that you can pick in Horizon Forbidden West, is have Aloy fall in love with the Asian chick, the Asian looking chick. Or you can
Huh.
I saved it and like got all three. I was like, I wonder what happens. And the choices are accept her love, and then you're like, they're making out and stuff, and you're like, okay, hot. The thing is, for that scene, I had Aloy have the most ridiculous face paint on imaginable, so it just the whole scene came across as hilarious to me. And then there's one, it's like reject her softly, and you're like, oh man, I don't swing that way, bro. And then the girl's like, oh well, maybe we'll see each other again. I don't know. And then there's reject her harshly and just break her heart. That one is the most funny. It's just like, bro, I was just here to do a job. We became friends, I guess, but you wanted to take it real far. I'm going back to San Francisco, the totally not gay place. I'm like, that's funny. That's a lot of irony to me. Yeah, you can make Joe and Mac gay? That's awesome.
I don't think they're gay. They're just being chased by a gay guy.
No,
Yeah,
I like
they're
to think
playing hard to get.
Joe and Mac are absolutely gay. That's how I'm going to
Yeah,
remember this game.
They're just playing hard to get, part of the fun.
Who has time for that shit?
I
That's
had
why they went away from all the women. He
Yeah.
obviously is disgusted by them.
Yeah, I love this game a lot. I thought it was super fun. I had frame rate issues, like if there was just too much, because the sprites are so big and they take up so much real estate. It is an arcade game, so I get there's a lot of like level issues of unavoidable shit hitting you, but there's ways around it you can do. I really enjoyed this, like quite a lot. I'm passing Joe and Mac. This is fun. I want to play it with friends.
Besides the bees, I liked it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the bees are
give this-
bad.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
I'm passing this.
Yeah, I'll give it a pass.
So you can pretty much beat this game in an hour or so. It runs for $15 to $20 online. I think that's well worth it.
Okay.
What do you guys? You guys agree with that price tag?
Yeah.
The sequel
Yeah.
runs for like $65 to $100. I don't know if it's that good.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Man, 11.
New Joe and Mac came out like recently? What the hell?
I think a mobile game a couple of years ago.
Huh.
Really?
At least based off the Data East wiki. It had a mobile game come out 2021.
It says it's on the Switch. Have to look into that. All right, our second game. We all passed that, right? We all passed Joe and Mac?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, our second game is from Capcom. Dino Crisis 2 from the year 2000. Came out in the fall. It is a sequel to the survival horror dinosaur Resident Evil game. And here we have the second installment. Got a new game director, and boy, did the game direction change. Very noticeable. How much do you guys remember the first Dino Crisis? Because we did play this on the cast.
Not much.
Not much.
I just remember it was basically Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Yes, that is the first one, which is what most people think of when they think of Dino Crisis. Major departure, sort of, when it came to Dino Crisis 2. They went with the new director because I think Turok came out, or the second one, and there was like a study that went on. I vaguely remember this back in 25 years ago, where there was this study going on that people just wanted to shoot dinosaurs and kill them and run, right? Make it a run and gun game. So the idea was to essentially make Dino Crisis 2 a run and gun game. The problem is they kept the survival horror Resident Evil-esque controls and movement around the stages and the pre-rendered backgrounds all the same, so it became more along the lines of a gameplay of late-game Parasite Eve with overpowered weapons and shotguns and rocket launchers and shit as you're running through each, like, map section. I'm going map to map to, or screen to screen to screen. Just blowing away raptors and the such and running away from T-Rexes until you get to a certain section of the map that you then finally fight it. So it's a much more action-based game than survival horror. And once you get that, even on Wiki it says it's action-adventure, while the first one was straight-up survival horror. What'd you guys think of the departure? Was it what you were expecting, or was this like way worse direction than where they once were?
I wasn't expecting anything, but I hated it.
Was it the controls?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like having to use the slow, methodical Resident Evil type setting with raptors that could jump in and attack me as soon as I enter into a new scene.
Yeah, every time, too, on top of it.
Yeah, I didn't get to actually play it.
Mm.
I just watched a YouTube video.
I guess it would have been better if I didn't have to hold 2 buttons to shoot the shotgun.
Yeah, you gotta bring it up and then shoot. Gotta raise it each time. Did you play it long enough to get used to the controls?
No.
Just didn't like it from the start.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. So then I watched someone play a little further, and
Okay.
they knew it so well. They were shooting things before we even got on screen. So,
yeah, that's someone who's very dedicated to the craft.
yeah. It's like, why are they shooting? Oh, I heard a dinosaur die. Okay, they know this game really well.
They know it so well they're shooting off screen. Yeah, I think that's pretty wild that actually works, because you would think back in even 2000 that wouldn't be possible. You would have to be on the screen for it to register. Because there was a lot of like hit detection issues in Joe and Mac. There was like no hit detection issues in Dino Crisis 2 that I came across, other than not knowing what's on the next screen, because I'm not that in depth at the game at this point in time. But yeah, you basically found yourself getting used to the tank controls and doing like quick time button actions per screen, and that's how you would get through the game. I thought the beginning was fucking awesome, where you're blasting away raptors and then you're running away from the T-Rex. And I thought that was a good start. And then very quickly I was like, oh my god, this is an action game, because I'm not running away from the dinosaurs the whole time. And the game gets you the necessary ammo, and there's like counters of how many dinosaurs you're killing. You get bonus points that help you out in the game when you like don't take any damage, if you can manage to do that. There's a lot of benefits to it.
You can increase your ammo to large amounts. So instead of running around with 100 shotgun shells, you can have like 1,000.
Yes. Yeah, very Parasite Eve-esque. Like I said, endgame Parasite Eve weapon building, basically.
Yeah, I was getting so many Time Crisis 2 vibes with
Yeah.
those little cutscenes you see between the segments with your character either climbing or descending a ladder. Just with all the points coming on screen, and then just reminded me so much of Time Crisis.
That's that's an apt comparison. I do. Yeah, I like that. Oh, that makes me want to play Time Crisis now. I liked how...
Why haven't they been ported to the Switch?
I know, right? That would be so easy to do, especially with the little motion control things they have.
Yeah. light gun games are
Who
practically made for.
Who owns the right? Who owns the rights to Time Crisis? Would that even sell these days right now?
I think so.
Hmm.
Hell, you could even port it onto like PS4, PS5, and just use the controller like shoulder buttons. And of course, it wouldn't be quite the same.
Okay, so Bandai Namco owns the rights to it, which Namco was the original developer.
Yeah. Hear that?
Yeah, they could
Bandai
release like a
Namco?
compilation series of Time Crisis just on the Switch.
Yeah. Get on that, Bandai Namco. There's money on the table right there.
Let's see. Let's not Time Crisis Switch. Let's see what comes up.
Or even just modern generations.
No. It's saying the Switch
Aw.
isn't fit for light gun games yet. I mean, why not?
Aw. Bullshit.
How could it not be?
Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe the Switch 2? When that eventually comes out?
I don't know, man. I liked how in Dino Crisis 2, it eventually, because they really cut back on the puzzles, and they went for, because like Resident Evil, there's a lot of puzzles and shit. In Dino Crisis 1, there was a lot. And this one, because of the action, the departure to the action game, they went with switching roles between the male and female character. And those characters were needed to do something in an area to unlock the thing for the other, I guess, gendered character. Made it more interesting. This would be fun as a co-op if you could do that. That'd be just chaos. You know, you could have split screen going on. Someone's playing through a different part of the level and you're going.
Wait a second. I'm seeing a Forbes article from September of this year saying that there's a Time Crisis remake coming up.
Oh. Yeah, what's it going to come out in 2026?
PS5.
No, we need it on the Switch.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, apparently for $119.99 you can get a physical foot pedal alongside the console and gun. So you can actually replicate the experience.
I mean, is a foot pedal really
Hell yeah,
necessary?
I'll take it. It's absolutely necessary. And it feels like the arcade all over again.
I suppose that's like getting the whole wheel and set up for like a Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a Crisis Brigade on Steam. It's basically VR spiritual successor to Time Crisis.
Mm.
God, I need to get a VR headset.
Crisis Brigade?
Meaning Brigade. That's VRIGADE. There's like two of them.
Is Crisis Brigade on PSVR 1? Because there's two of them now.
Yep.
Let's see. It says it's on the first one, and it's only $9.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Ooh, I might have to get this. And it does use the PS Move controller, so that's good. Oh, I know.
Nice.
I think I know what I'm doing this afternoon.
Go for it.
Crisis Brigade. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Colin. $9? I got $9. Okay.
I'd be concerned if you didn't.
different well, I did just buy a plane ticket to Houston. And I'm being charged for carry-on baggage now. It's a fucking world. Swear to God. Do you know that, Joey?
No, I haven't flown in a while.
Yeah, now airlines are charging for carry-ons. So you
That
literally
sucks.
cannot take anything onto a plane without being charged.
Yeah, Spirit Airlines makes you pay for checked baggage.
Yeah,
Last
this
I
is
checked.
they've leveled up, Colin. Now it's anything.
Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, basically your purse is the only thing going. So it wouldn't shock me if a lot of men just start carrying big purses and putting it in the front seat and just be like, "Yep, not a carry-on, it's my purse." Well, that's a good idea. I might do that.
Hey, all the anime convention goers already have shit like that.
Man,
The Merces.
yeah. So Dino Crisis 2, you can beat it in like 8 hours, maybe less, because it's just straight up run and gun.
That's it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's short. How long was the first one? Let's see here. Yeah, the first one was 8 hours. Dino Crisis 3 came out on the Xbox? What? Really?
Interesting. It's kind of like Time Splitters. Time Splitters 3. Although
Dino
maybe,
Crisis 3 Xbox $45. Oof. I don't know if I
Yikes.
love the series that much. Okay. This is tough. I'm definitely in the middle because I was hoping for a survival horror, not an action with the survival horror controls. I think that's gonna deter people like you, Joey.
Yeah, probably.
I'm failing this.
I'm certainly in the middle. I'm at a don't love it, don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards soft pass. Just like same as you, JD, just right in the middle. Of course, then again, I didn't actually play it, so maybe my opinion would change if I did.
All right, Joey, your favorite and your tiers.
Favorite is Joe and Mac, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that an A. And Dino Crisis, I'm giving it a D.
Ooh. Okay.
Hmm.
How about you, Colin?
And John Mack's my favorite. I'm gonna give that a B, and I'll give Dino Crisis a C.
And I'm exactly where you are, Colin. Joe and Mac favorite B, Dino Crisis C. So that kind of, that evens it out. B and C each. Whoops. Okay. So that was our last episode for 2024. Join us in the first week of January where Colin has his theme already picked. What is it?
It is Mass Destruction Part 2. That's right. We're going to start the year off with a bang.
All right. I see what you did there. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye now.